Welcome to another visit with Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins. And Dr. Rollins, you talked about how well the school year started. We kind of talked about that last time, but you've been in some schools now and you're seeing some happy faces.
I had such a great experience this morning. I was visiting one of our schools, an early morning experience, just as the kids were arriving. And that in itself is always inspiring to me. Today was particularly outstanding, really. I had this wall of kids coming down the hall toward me, and I just observed them, laughing, talking, having fun. As teachers greeted them, you could see there was a relationship between those kids and their teachers, and they were really focused on having a great day at school. From a superintendent's perspective, Rick, it doesn't get any better than that. And we have 31 great schools. That experience plays out every time I visit in the schools. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share that with our audience this morning.
In Springdale, you talk about the whole child, the wellness of the whole child, and emotional well-being is a major part of that. And when you walk into those schools and you see kids who are happy, they know they're getting a good lunch, they know they're getting attention from their teachers, that's a major part of being a whole child.
Well, it sure is. And I don't know who of us ever thought that learning couldn't be fun. We ought to put a big banner up there and wear it every day. Kids learn when they're having fun and when they're enjoying each other and sharing experiences. And with all the technology that's available today, they're creating project after project after project. They're caught up in that. They're connected to the learning. You know, that's what school's all about.
Well, you could go to several of the schools that have robotics teams, and they're there at night. They don't have to be there at night, but they're there at night because it's just what you were talking about. They're so excited about what they are doing that they want to be there.
Yeah, you know, that is so true, and especially when those creative juices are flowing and they're designing projects for competition. These Springdale kids love to compete, and that applies in the classroom, in our arts arenas, in the athletic competition. Springdale kids love to compete. Well, I'll tell you, who else loves to compete? Our teachers, our principals, the superintendent loves to compete. Our families love to compete. So yes, that's a powerful part, again, of what school's all about. And really, it's probably at the point where learning is at its peak.
Well, and again, in the wholeness of the child, you mentioned athletics, and we can talk about physical well-being. Last week we had the opportunity to see a new trail open behind J.B. Hunt Elementary. It connects with the Razorback Greenway. Physical well-being is a major part of our district.
The whole child approach is part and parcel to our Springdale school system. You want kids making good decisions. You want kids making good choices about lifestyles, their food choices, their friends, and that just goes on and on. The Blue and You campaign that we just celebrated is a tremendous example of partnerships that make our school work. Blue Cross Blue Shield, the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Foundation, a great partner with Hunt Elementary School on this particular project. But again, our coordinated school health program, Mary Miller, who leads that program, built a relationship with Blue Cross Blue Shield, thus was a candidate for the Blue and You Foundation. And now we're seeing that partnership play out in the form of a new track at the school. Again, healthy kids, making good choices, the family coming and using those facilities over time. That just is symbolic of what makes our school system work. And not only was Blue Cross Blue Shield a great partner, our city was a great partner. As they came in and helped us use the grant funds that were generated in terms of actually constructing the track itself. So partnerships allow you to use your resources in a way that really makes a difference in the lives of kids, frankly in the lives of families, and on the whole in the life of our community. So a great example of partnership, a great example of really making strategic moves that help our kids be healthier, and healthier kids are just better learners. So it all works together beautifully.
You touched on something I think we ought to go a little bit further on, is the community is welcome to use those facilities as well when the kids aren't actually using it for class. That involves a much larger group, whether it's their parents or even members of the community, and also the fact that that connects with the Greenway is a pretty big deal.
Well, it is. You know, Miss Jones, Burtis Jones, was such an inspiration to all of us. And she used to use the term, as she talked about schools, schools ought to be the gathering place in your community. You see evidence of that when you talk about facilities like the new track. Parents, partnerships, working together with our teachers and principals to really make school an exciting place for all kids. And I think of no better example of that than the city of Springdale and the Springdale school system opening the doors where families can come in and be a part of those experiences together.
Let's talk about one more facility before we conclude today. You've got baseball and softball facilities that you're very proud of, that it looks like now Springdale High School and HAR-BER High School will actually be able to play on campus.
Yes, that's our plan. The facility is emerging beautifully. We have had, because of the great work of really parents in the HAR-BER area over time, for a long time, we've had baseball at HAR-BER, and the district joined arms with them. We now have softball at HAR-BER. In the last year, we've been able to bring those facilities forward at Springdale High School. So my hope in the spring, when these seasonal sports come forward, these kids will have the opportunity to play their games on campus. And that's a really big thing, and you kind of had to grow into that over time. We were so appreciative, so honored that our city allowed us to use city facilities over time. But there's so much demand for city facilities today as the community has grown and the athletic programs community-wide have grown, that it's appropriate, I think, now to have facilities on campus where these kids can play. And so we're excited about that.
We're excited about a lot of things in the Springdale School District. We hope you enjoy these visits with Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins, and we'll see you for the next one.